Hiya, kids and cadets. Welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out, having a good day here in Southwest Florida. My son Greg's here helping me out. I put him to work. My brother Andy stopped by. We went out for lunch. I had come back, and this fine beauty was sitting in my yard. So I thought, who could have dropped that off? Toro Recycler. Then I see the 3 cans. I know my one scrapper's out of commission with the broken down truck. So I thought the only other one would be my neighborhood scrapper. So I put my son to work on this Troy built. This came in as a $10 trade, missing the flap, gas cap, cover. So I put him to work on that. So short time later, neighborhood scrapper showed back up. I gave him 20 for this and 5 for the cans. $25 was his haul. So let's look at this. First thing I notice is one wheel was, the adjusters was all the way down. So I turned it over and noticed the bracket here is cracked. So maybe I can weld it or just go to another machine and take the bracket. The wheel attaches to this bracket and it's on a rotating axis here, so it's got a crack in there. So that's probably why this thing was all the way down. I put it back up and noticed the crack. Wheels seem to be pretty wobbly, if you can see that. The gears may be worn out. So why don't we take a quick look at that, and then we'll mess with fuel, see if it's gonna start for us. Let me see, grab my stall Willie. I believe they're 14s. No, they're 13s. So it's looks like a newer machine, the 20377. 20377 on the model year. 675 Toro. Andy flipped it over, said there's a blade on it. But looks like it's had heavy use. A lot of staining, missing paint here on the trap door side. So what do we got? A little bit of teeth wear. So where's the wobble coming from? Okay, so it appears the bearings are totally worn. Axles jumping up and down. So this will need two sets of bearings. I'm surprised the gears aren't worn out more. Oh, it looks like the wheel may have some wear in it here on the center. So I think there's been a lot of use. So right away we need a couple of wheel bearings, which I have in stock for the Toros. Let me put this back on. We'll go through it. 20377. I think I just put a couple of these in storage, actually. Okay, let's keep looking. Okay, this happens to be, as you know, XT675's the Kohler engine, 2019. It looks like on the date code, if I can read that right. Displacement 149cc. I don't have the best cheaters on, but from what I can tell, 2019. Should I show you the underside? Might as well, since we're almost over. Yeah, this bearing here is shot. Okay, a lot of rust. They didn't clear the deck, showing a bunch of rust. Blades worn out here on the lift. Super flat here, like a butter handle knife. A lot of buildup on the axle, and you can see just a ton of play. This thing's jumping up and down. There's probably not a ball bearing left, so that needs work. I'm going to have to soften these up overnight with some rust buster to get these off. We'll need a blade. Even the rear wheels here are rough. Oh, somebody's taped cardboard. I thought, that isn't the rubber flap. They've taped a piece of cardboard here to prevent the blow-by, it appears. So that's a Harvey homeowner. Oh, I just screwed that up. I had put the oil cap up to let it drain off the stick to take a reading, and now I got hazardous material. So that was quite the screw up. Didn't want to make extra work for myself, but I just did. Let's take a fuel sample. Maybe it's a bad gas. I think they could have went by with a broken bracket there. I don't think that was the killer. Okay, looks like gas, no water. Still no water. Maybe 2 small drops, but I'm not seeing a lake. Okay, so I got to put oil in it. Let me grab some junk oil, start over with that catastrophe. Cables are fine. No rust in the cables. This thing might have been stored inside, but just used very heavily. Let me get a rag. Actually, I have new oil. Am I confident in this thing to put new oil in it? How much did I pour out? Probably the whole darn thing. Yeah, I sure enough did. Let me grab a funnel. We'll just funnel new oil in it. Nothing like live television, let me tell you. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what screw-ups Tommy Time is going to perform. My sons did some organizing for me. Now he's getting exercise rake in the front yard. I want to make sure I put out full barrels of yard waste. They pick up yard waste and garbage in a recycling bin 1 day a week. And I'm paying a small fortune for all those services, even though I don't use them every week. I don't recycle or have enough to recycle to fill a bin. So maybe once a month that goes out. So I try to get my money's worth out of the lawn debris, cut up limbs that fall down. Right now it's oak leaves, cleaning those up for springtime so it doesn't smother the grass when growing season starts. Showing I got enough, but that wasn't much of a pour. We'll go with that. I doubt it's going to run, but we'll deal with the oil level a little bit more in a moment. Just going to pull and go, maybe look at the air filter. 2019. Yeah, it's kind of pretty saturated here with garbage. Backside's clean, but here there's not a pleat that doesn't have debris. I'm going to leave that off. We'll go with the gas that's in the tank. If that's ineffective, we'll goose it. Nitro. What do you say, hey? So one pull Annie. What I'm going to do is put that old filter back in and see if that was snuffing us out. And I pulled back on the traction control. We had no action here. Either the belt's off or the cable's rusted shut, but something's going on with the front wheel drive. That may be the reason they dumped this thing, is they had no traction and it was too heavy to push. Harvey said, the hell with this shit. I'm not going to push this thing around. It's got a front end issue, front wheel drive issue. It's going to the street. So hopefully that's an easy thing, but we know right away we got to do bearings. Both wheel bearings are shot. Greg, can you pull this over for me? Let me just see if it starts again with this plugged up filter. Okay, go ahead and try it. Thanks for doing that. So no difference in running with either filter on or off. So it was still getting air. It didn't change the RPMs whatsoever. So can you pull the bail bar for the traction? Okay, I see the cable moving. Okay. What we'll do is I'll take a 10mm socket. We're going to turn this thing over. I'm not going to put any more oil on the grass. I screwed that up. I'm going to take this cover off, 10mm, and I want to see if there's any kind of a discrepancy, broken cable, or what we're dealing with. So I've got my DeWalt. Let me grab a 10, and we're going to do a little looky. Since Greg's helping me, we're going to put this free labor to work. You filled the barrels.
Yep.
Oh wow, that was good. You're really motivated.
Yep.
It must have been that lunch.
Yeah. Puerto Rican style.
Yeah, we had Puerto Rican style corned beef. So it was kind of like a mash, I would call it, with vegetables. My brother had roast pork, so that was good. So I'm just looking for a 10. I found a 10. I got an extension. Okay, go ahead and put this thing carburetor up, and then I'll deal with this plastic cover so we can see what the problem is.
The cable seems like it has this tight.
Yeah, Greg says the table's tight. Maybe there's a jam up in here of some sort, but taking this cover off is going to be what we need. Belt still in place. There is some snot buildup underneath the cover. Let me get the one last 10mm bolt here, and then we'll flip it over and see. Maybe it's off the pulley. Looks like there's a lot of slack here. That should be a little bit tighter, I would believe. Okay.
That's what I would imagine as well.
Okay, let's turn it back over and see what we can see. This came off with 4 bolts. It looks like it's in place. Okay, this is off.
Yeah.
The hooky dooky. Okay, I see. No wonder it wasn't engaging.
Yeah.
It's slacked.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's rusty. I'm not getting any.
Everything's just fused together.
Yeah, that should be like that, but I think it hooks right here, and it was so rusty it pulled through.
Wow.
I think it hooks straight ahead, so I'm gonna have to get my welder out and tack this here.
Which would explain why the cable was loose.
Yeah. Let me do this. I'm gonna undo the cable from up there on the handle and see if I can pull it down. I think it's been in op for so long that we have rust buildup. Okay, is it moving?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And the way they adjust it up here too, they have it way too tight. See that?
Yeah.
The cable should be adjusted more towards the engine, and it's more towards the operator.
Is that something that in every day I would never have looked to tighten this, or you think this being tightened was someone with some knowledge knowing that maybe it was too loose, that's why it wasn't engaging?
Yeah, maybe they tried to rectify it with cable length, but the real issue was down here with no attachment. They kept trying to attach it and pulled all the slack out of it up towards the operator. So the other thing I could do is drill a secondary hole here instead of tacking it, and just rehook it, something like that. Because that's how these go on. You have a bunch of slack here. You put the hook down through the hole, then you straighten out the spring. It sits something like that. It just rusted through and the spring was just hanging. So that's why Harvey dumped this thing, no traction control. He got tired of pushing this heavy machine. So there you go, kids and cadets. That was the prognosis on this. Needs some minor work. So we'll deal with it. Anywho, that's all I can show you. 2019 Toro recycler. Might be a '07 actually. No, I'm looking at it here. I was trying to decipher the serial number. I believe it's a 20. What did I say before? 2019? Yeah, 2019. Yeah, not '07, 19. Anywho, that's all we got for you. Appreciate you coming out. Greg thanks you. Maybe what we'll do on this one is I'll give him the squirt can and we degrease this thing, let it sit out in the sun, and then start messing with it. We'll do a cleanup job on it first, let Mother Nature go to town on it, and then start working. Okay, you guys, appreciate you coming out. Tip you waitress and wait staff. Who's coming to town? Yeah, United Airlines, they know where to come for nice weather. Southwest Florida, you guys tip your waitress and wait staff. Adios, amigos. Thanks. Greg's going to get busy on this one. See you.